If you've been grooming for a while, you know not all shampoos are created equal. That's why I reach for Hydra. Their formulas are professional grade, made with high quality ingredients that leave coats shiny, soft, and smelling amazing. Hydra has a full line, everything from deep cleansers to coat-specific shampoos and conditioners, so you can tailor every bath to each dog's needs. Plus, they're super concentrated, which means little goes a long way and saves you money in the salon. Whether you're grooming pets at home or competing on the big stage, Hydra helps every dog look and feel their best. Find Hydra at your favorite distributor.
Thanks for tuning in to your favorite podcast, Another Grooming Podcast. I'm Katie Austin.
I'm Juan Rivera.
I'm Kat Graney.
And I'm Nathan Austin.
Boop, boop.
I knew the and.
And
Good job.
So you're to Katie now.
I switched to Katie. For anybody who's been listening for a long time, I've always introduced myself as Kathlena Austin. But a lot of people out in public, when I go to shows, call me Kat. I don't go by Kat. I go by Katie because my best friend's name is Kat. And actually, we had a very similar problem in high school where we both went by Katie and she switched to Kat to make it less confusing. And now it's funny because in the grooming industry, everybody wants to call me Kat. And I'm like, she picked Kat. I'm Katie. So, like, I'll never be offended if somebody calls me Kat, but it just makes it confusing because then I'm like, are you, because I've had people, you know, like, I love Kat so much. And then, like, they meet me in public and they call me Kat. And then I'm like, okay, but so then did you mean Kat or Katie Kat? You know what I mean? Like, so it just makes it confusing where I'm like, do you mean me or her?
Well, also because not everybody watches us, so they don't know what we look like.
Right.
Even though I feel like I have a more distinctive voice because I have that raspiness to me.
But I do think, I mean,
I'm married to both of them, according to a lot of them.
Yeah.
No, I'm married to Kat. No.
We're a throuple.
Yeah.
Without Nathan.
Without Nathan.
Minus the fun.
It's a triangle.
Just two women
I'm the
complaining
throuple.
at me all the time.
I'm the one in the throuple, not Nathan.
Yeah.
Everybody's in love with me.
We're,
No, I'm just kidding.
we're a love triangle.
Yeah, you're right though, because we do have a lot of people who listen. But
I
how many times?
I love a isosceles triangle. No.
How many times have we been out? Because we've worked together for the last 18 years almost.
And we've been friends longer than that.
We've been friends longer than that. And how many
More
times
than
have
half
people
our lives.
thought, customers, that we were the same person? And then they come in and they're like, I thought that you just like calling yourself by both names. And we're like,
I
nope,
think this
we're
is
different
it.
people.
I think
So, but if anybody is wondering how to identify us, I almost always have a fantasy color hair.
I went through a period where I had colorful
I like
hair.
that fantasy color hair.
I like that too.
Fantasy.
Well, you know why I
Yeah.
say that? Because the other day when Michael, the new Utsumi rep, came to the salon, that's what he called it. But he used to work in people hair, not dog hair.
Oh.
And so he was like, oh, I love fantasy hair. It's my favorite. And I was like, oh,
Mine
sick.
too.
And Katie loves fantasy.
Yeah, and I love fantasy.
I'm like taking
like
down
that.
an elf.
And I almost always am wearing glasses.
And I
So-
also weigh about 200 pounds more than Katie.
Okay. I was not going to, I was just going to say I wear glasses and have colored hair, and you have brown hair and not glasses.
And I'm a little chunky.
And
It's
the
a lot
most
chunky.
adorable gap in your
Yes.
teeth.
Yeah. Does it bother you or
I
do you
hate
like
my
it?
gap.
Aw.
I hate
I
it.
think
I
it's
love
cute.
I love gaps.
I like gaps. Yeah, I think they're cute. I understand because it makes you feel different, but I do think that it looks cute on you.
I also feel like I'm drawn to people with front gaps. Maria, one of my best friends, has a gap. Margie has a gap. You have a gap. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of my closest friends all have it.
Wow.
I know.
I don't
Okay, so
have
you
it.
know
you
what-
gotta get one.
You
If
know
you want
who
to
I
move up
missed
into my top
at
8, you
Super
gotta
Zoo?
get a gap.
Damn. That's it. I'm not reading books with you anymore. I'm just kidding.
You know who I missed in Super Zoo was Maria.
Oh, I
Little
know.
Maria.
Oh, little Maria,
didn't
yeah.
come. She's always such a wild child. I love it. We love
She's
you,
so
Maria.
cute.
Okay, so on this episode, we do have a couple of Would You Rathers. We're going to do a dog breed. We're going to talk about a Facebook post that will lead into a conversation about seminars. And if we have time, we're going to talk about our trip to the Sphere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, so let's
That'll
get
be fun.
into it. So I do have a Would You Rather.
Okay.
Okay, I did get it off TikTok, so I'll play it so that we hear the original. But I heard it and I was like, this would be so interesting. I'm super curious because I thought I had Nathan's answer pegged and he gave me a different answer. So
What is it?
Okay, would you rather be able to eat literally anything you want and it be perfect nutrition, like not unhealthy at all, and you can eat whatever you want, quantity, items, whatever, or only have to sleep 1 hour per day and be fully rested?
I mean, that's easy to me.
That's easy to me.
That's easy to
I
me.
think the three of us have the same answer and Nathan's going to be the odd man out.
Do you
Yeah,
think?
to me, it's time. I'd rather sleep 1 hour and have
Oh.
that would double your lifespan.
No, but
No.
what am I going to do with all that time? I
Yeah.
want to eat.
I get bored already.
Oh, but you can't. I was
You know what
can
you
stay
do?
up and eat, but you
Is
can't.
you fucking lock in and become rich.
But see, okay, like I love sleep, number one.
You ever see those douchebags? You ever see those douchebags though on social media? That's like, I work 12 hours a day, and by the end of the week, I work double as much as you. You got to lock in, and you're a pussy, and I'm the best. You know, and like,
I already
if
though,
you get
like,
1 hour sleep and then
but
actually
I
just
struggle with anxiety.
I don't know.
So
I actually
like,
think that's a toxic male answer I gave. Man, like now thinking about it, I'm like, I'm just gonna work extra more. That just sounds fucked
I mean,
up.
okay, so I
Extra more.
I'm gonna double my workload. That
I
sounds
think
terrible,
if you
actually.
looked at it like, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you like a like a pass on that because I think I think the way you're looking at it is like you don't have enough time in your day to do all the things you want to do. Like you want to create more content, you don't have enough time. You want to spend more time with your children, you don't have enough time to like do all the things with the kids you want to do. You don't, you know what I mean? Like so I think when you look at it that way, your answer makes sense for you. Where you just have all these things you want to accomplish and you don't have enough time in the day. And I agree, I feel the same way, but I don't want to be awake that much.
Yeah.
No. There are times where I'm like, why am I awake?
What do I want to spend another 10 hours scrolling?
Yeah.
No.
I
what I was
also
thinking.
I enjoy sleep so much. Like
I
I
love
look
sleep.
forward to
Yeah.
sleep. I wish I had time to nap.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
yeah,
I have
sleep-
incredible
and also-
dreams. I have such good dreams.
I don't remember.
Sleep is so overrated.
Whatever. Maybe it's
You
because
just
I've never
literally
felt fully
close your
rested.
eyes. You close your eyes. What you like is laying down. Because once you close your
I
eyes
guess.
and you open them, you're like, that was sleep. And you don't. So are you there like, wee? No. You know,
That's
you're just.
true.
No, because I lucid dream a lot.
Oh, well,
I lucid dream a lot.
I just go unconscious and wake up in the morning.
No, I have really cool dreams. Like,
Okay, so
really,
you
really
wake
cool
up
dreams.
fully like not tired at all.
Maybe I've never been fully rested, so I don't know how amazing it is.
There's no
Like,
such thing, baby.
No, because I feel like either you oversleep or you undersleep. I
There's
don't
no
feel-
perfect
There's no
amount.
perfect
I
amount.
also think you're gauging how you're supposed to feel on you being on stimulants. So like you being on caffeinated on a like a really strong coffee, you're like, now I'm awake. It's like, no, you're high. But so like you're being tired when you wake up. That's just like your everyone's baseline.
Okay, but on the other end, I want to be able to eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and be skinty. So
Yeah, for sure. Food all the way. I would want to, if I can be skinny and eat whatever I want.
But it'd be so nice to wake up and not feel tired.
No.
yeah. But okay, like my thing is,
And think about all you could do.
my
I
thing
don't even
is,
care
what
about
am I
that.
gonna
I
do
just like
with
waking
my?
up refreshed.
What am I gonna? But yeah, but wouldn't we feel more refreshed if all of our food was perfect nutrition all the time?
Yeah.
Are we
bodies
tired because we have?
Because our food is shit?
Yeah.
And like then if everything's perfect nutrition, your skin be looking good. You're like getting good rest.
Everybody looks
you're
beautiful.
healthy and like you're getting all the vitamins and nutrients.
Okay,
you
I'm back.
need.
Food. I'm back.
I'm just saying though, like, but what am I gonna do with extra fucking 9-10 hours a day? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like what am I gonna do to make money?
But also,
So
are
then,
you
like,
the
I
only
don't
one?
have. Yeah, also that too. Then what
Because if you're the only one, you're just.
what the
in
hell am I
middle of the
gonna
night-
do with all that extra time? You're gonna be sleeping and I'm gonna be up, just like freaking
Cooking and
out,
cleaning.
freaking out with anxiety.
Doing your wifely duties.
It'll kind of be like being a meth addict, but without the meth.
It would be like being a vampire. But I don't have the money to back
Which
me
would be
up.
sick.
But no,
But
no,
I
no,
don't have
Katie.
the money.
Katie
No, you
doesn't also
would
like the
because you're doubling
darkness.
your
The
work ability.
darkness.
No, but see, the thing is during the day, I'd have to be able to, during the day would be dedicated to my family. So then what the fuck am I going to do from midnight to 6 a.m. that would make me money
That's when you
while
work.
everybody's
An
sleeping?
overnight remote
I
job.
can't do, well, okay, yeah. Because I'm like, I can't do grooming during that time.
But okay, think it was like, oh, I can't wait to work more. Like that seems kind of.
Yes, you do. You can groom, but you groom specifically for people that are nighttime, that work graveyard shifts.
Speaking of midnight, I recently encountered a mobile grooming van out in the wild, and it
On
grooms on the thing. It says like 5 a.m. to midnight are their hours.
Crazy.
So who has a mobile groomer
I think I've seen them.
coming out? It's
Yeah,
like
Okay,
Like
a
San
don't
chain.
say
Francisco?
their
They
name,
have-
but like
Yeah.
we looked on their fucking website and stuff,
They have like
and
100
it is
groomers.
the worst grooms.
Mm.
And on their Yelp, the worst grooms I've literally ever seen.
But then there's some people who say they love it, and I'm like,
they're like
Like
5
clients.
stars, best groom ever. In the photo, I'm like, oh my God.
And I mean,
pretty
imagine
awful.
your first groom ever, and then
It was worse.
make it
but with no guidance.
at least 4 or 5 times worse. Like
It
way
was,
bad.
It's kind of scary because like they have at least 20 groomers listed, and I'm like looking through all like the profiles. Half the photos are AI. They're not even real photos of these people. So then like you're hiring this person to come to your home. You don't even know what they actually
midnight.
look like. It doesn't, none of them say like, oh, this person's been grooming for this long or has, this specialty or, you know what I mean? Like one person said their doodle was done in 45 minutes and the picture was crazy.
like a full size doodle.
Yeah, and I was like, the bath and the blow dry is going to take at least 45 minutes. Like, so then how do you get the haircut done? Like, it was wild. So unsafe, not properly done. You know what I mean? Like, so many.
A big doodle a nice haircut could take me an hour to do. Like just the haircut part.
Imagine starting
Right.
a doodle haircut at 10 p.m.
Also that, I'm like, so who's working
Yeah.
5 a.m. and who's working
Well, it
midnight?
says until midnight, so their probably last appointments are
Like,
like
yeah.
midnight, right?
I don't know.
Wild. But then I feel like they would have to be like one of the plug-in ones, right? Because you can't, like generators would be too loud for like.
That somebody did say, no. I think they do have generators.
Damn.
And somebody said like they showed up and asked to like plug in and like they were like, dude, So there was just like a lot of really bad reviews. Lots of cuts with staples.
Yeah, like huge cuts. Like
Huge cuts where they had to go
inches,
get
6
stapled
inches.
at the vet. And
I bet you that happened at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And someone
Well,
also said
that's
it's like the
scary.
service that gave them the appointment was like it's
Well,
like a
it's-
third party thing.
Oh yeah, it's all
Yeah.
like
Like the appointment is booked third party, and then they're just like,
1-800. Well, because one of the people was like,
I don't
oh,
know how these. I know tons of great mobile groomers,
Yeah.
really good
We're not
mobile,
talking shit
but
on
they're
mobile
like doing their
groomers.
own thing. And this is like a whole nother world that I have really not a lot of
it seems
information
like
about.
they're hired by like Walmart.
Well, they have like
it's
a fleet.
Walmart.
Yeah,
Or
they
it's
have
like
a
a-
fleet, and then they have like an 800 number you call to like book your appointment, and then
I think we should dig into it really and do an episode on it and see.
well, like one person complained. We can leave all this in too, but like one of the bad reviews was like, "Oh, I had an appointment at 6 a.m. The groomer didn't show up." Yada yada. Like the groomer just never showed up, and then the response from the business was, oh, well, our call center doesn't open until 9 and the groomer, like the van didn't work, like wasn't working that morning. So that's why they couldn't come. But it's like the groomer should still be able to contact the person and say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it just because the call center's not open. Like,
Yeah.
And they're also using the term master.
oh,
They were
yeah,
like,
a lot.
One person was like, oh, about my doodle. It was just a normal doodle. And the response was,
Regular
oh,
doodle.
this dog needs a master level
Groomer.
groomer.
So like, oh, that's not me. Sorry. But like, we can book you with like the master level groomer. And it was like a regular doodle
So like,
trim.
and
Nothing
I'm
special.
kind of a,
So it's probably
I'm kind
not
of
a shave down.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an asshole about that.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like we all worked really hard for our master certification. So when I see somebody throwing that lingo out there willy nilly, it upsets me.
Yeah,
But,
me too.
Anyway.
Move on.
So what was everybody's
We
answer?
should do
For
it.
me,
We
it's-
should really
it's
look into it though,
food.
because I think it would be really interesting.
Well, if you guys are interested in hearing more or have your own, for the listeners, if you have your own experiences with companies like this, I'd be super interested to hear about it.
Yeah,
I'm
or
sure
if you
there's-
worked for one. Yeah, if you
I'm
worked
sure
for
that
one, right?
there are maybe some companies that are doing it a good way and then some that are not, right? So I would be interested.
I mean,
for
this
sure.
this screams non-groomer owned,
Yeah.
right? So I feel
Yes.
like if it's groomer owned, there's certain things that they think about when
Right.
making their business practice. Whereas someone who's just an entrepreneur wants to make the money from mobile, then they probably go this route.
Right. So
Boo.
anyway, back to the original topic. I'm team food.
I'm team food as well.
Team food.
And Nathan's team time. Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do it with me, it's gonna be food. But I'd rather have a double lifespan with you, or with the people around me. Like I imagine always having time for your friends or the people around you, and like I don't know, that just seems better to me.
That's very sweet, Nathan.
I do see the benefit of that. I do.
It's a hard one.
Never being tired.
But I would feel like the need, like I feel like I would convince myself that I need to work a second job, or I need to make the most of
Also,
the time
whatever you're
versus
eating,
like enjoying the
Think
extra
about
time.
this too, right? Whatever you're eating, you can double it because you're burning that much more energy. So you could eat a lot more and
actually work out, go to the
yeah,
gym
you would
and
have
get
time to go
yoked.
to the gym. You would
No,
have
I
time to
just
do the
spend
free
scrolling
projects
more.
you want. Like
But food.
at the end of the day, you're not like, oh, I'm so tired. I want to do this, but I'm so tired. No, you'd be perfectly rested, and you just be like, oh, I'm going to do that thing.
You know, I feel like if I
he
wasn't
makes a very
overweight,
compelling argument.
I feel like if I wasn't overweight, I would maybe pick that. But as an overweight person, I love food so much, and that's why I'm overweight, right?
Yeah.
And I don't exercise,
I do really love
but
food.
I love food so much.
But I guess it's a good point. I guess I could go to the gym, like, because that's something I don't have time for, is to work out because I'm
All right,
so
we're definitely
busy.
going to have to put this one on the group to see what people think, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a good
Yeah.
one.
This is a good one.
Okay.
But yeah, I choose time. I choose the 1 hour rest.
Okay.
Locking it in.
You have me tempted to switch over.
I feel like Nathan does that a lot, though. He's like, I'm going to convince you.
But he had very good points. Like,
Yeah.
he's got me close to.
But you
know.
also had very good points of the food part. That if you were eating, if everything was
Well-balanced, yeah.
Nutritionist.
nutritionally.
That's
if
a
it was
person.
nutrition, if you were more balanced in your diet and it
Maybe
was
I
everything
wouldn't
better,
need as much sleep.
maybe you would sleep better and feel better and all that.
Wow,
each
I'm like
side
trying to
have-
go back in the group.
Imagine
I didn't-
drinking your Coke and then your body just thinking it's water.
Wow.
You'd be so hydrated.
I know, but it is 95% water though.
Yeah.
If you drink Diet Coke, it would almost be just like drinking water.
Okay.
Fair. Whatever, Nathan. Whatever.
That's what
I've been
I'm
trying to
saying.
get Cat on Diet Coke for years.
And I've tried. Remember, you still owe me like almost $30. You said because you said if I for every
just put it in your paycheck.
every
Just putting
Oh,
Just put
take
it in your
from the
paycheck,
till.
Dan.
Take it
because
from the till.
every he told me if I drink a Coke Zero, because Coke Zero is better than Diet in my opinion. It tastes more like regular Coke. That he would pay me $1 for every one I drink. So I'm up to like $30.
Oh, nice.
Well, that was like a couple
was
months
like a
ago.
couple
Because
months.
I'm like it would help. It would if you're
Well,
whatever.
Because previously I know that you had mentioned the like
Caffeine.
no, not the caffeine,
aspartame.
the aspartame, but they recently put out an article that said the amount of aspartame that you would have to like ingest for it to actually be detrimental to you is like so astronomically high.
Yeah, and other
that
things you eat.
It outweighs
other
it
things you
outweighs
eat.
the sugar in the regular soda. Like
And-
that's so
and-
much worse.
And other things you eat have the same chemical process and turn into the same chemicals as aspartame does. So like
so it's not really as
it's
bad as they make
it's
it
like
seem.
yeah, whatever. I don't know, but that's just like there's information on both sides saying like it's gonna melt your brain, and the next one is like it's just fine. So whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to pick another would you rather.
I screenshot a Would You Rather from the group
Okay, that you liked.
on
Okay.
Wednesday, and I thought it was gross. So
Okay,
I'm going
let's
to
go
read
for
it.
Gross.
Yeah,
This
do
is
that
from
one.
Chloe Berg.
Thanks, Chloe.
Would
Yeah,
you rather
thanks.
have breath that smells like anal glands for the rest of
Oh,
your life,
God.
or drool as much as a bulldog for the rest of your life?
Oh no,
Those are awful.
Okay. For me, I would rather have Katie have the drool.
Oh.
And then imagine it. You know exactly where my brain went.
Oh my god.
The most sloppiest.
Oh God. Such a man.
Yep.
I mean, if you had to pick for Ronnie, tell me, right?
Oh yeah, I would rather him drool. I mean, he already drools a lot. If he notice whenever he talks, he goes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then he could shoot it too, right? Like
Yeah,
he goes like
can
the
gleek on command.
gleek.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know. That's hard because number one, people could see you drooling from far away, right? So like if you're drooling regularly like a bulldog, that's something physically people can see.
But then if your breath smells like it, they're gonna smell you.
Also,
what if you
people
wear
are
a
gonna, I get
mask?
mad. I get when people's breath is like really, really bad. It pisses me off. I don't say anything, but I'm like, I'm angry. You know?
When you
So
can
imagine-
smell it.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, hey, what's your name?" And they're like just breathing on you. It's like, oh my god, I want to punch you.
I hate when people come up behind me and whisper in my ear. It drives me
Do you think though, if your
their
breath
hot
smells like
breath.
anal glands, can you like give it a quick like spray right before you talk to somebody to cover it up quickly?
Or just keep mints in your mouth constantly.
yeah, like to help.
And don't forget, guys, smell and taste are interconnected.
Ew. Yeah, but you get used to it as a person. Like you personally would.
But
get
would you
used
rather
to
kiss
it.
me with drool or anal gland mouth?
I choose drool for myself. Drool.
Drool.
You know,
What about
Drool.
for your partner, drool too?
Drool.
I guess I'm gonna go with drool, but that would suck.
I had an ex who was a very sloppy kisser, and it bothered me so much. But in hindsight, I would rather the drool than the
Then an
glands.
anal gland.
I feel like you could like stuff cotton or something in your mouth.
So like help. Just
Would
have
you'd be like
chipmunk
a
cheeks.
Newfoundland owner.
Wear a bib.
Yeah, then
You'd
you can
have to-
accessorize with cute bibs.
Yeah.
Well, and when Ellie was a baby, because they go through a really drooly period when they're cutting all their teeth, she had these cute like little neckerchief things that were stylish and cool. I feel like drool because
I am gonna go drool on this one as much as I hate it. So thanks for that.
but it's something that I was thinking about the drool is the sounds that come with drool because I'm really a sound person. And the
But
the
I feel like
constant-
you'd
I'm
get
"Ugh."
used to it.
I'm sure you get used to it.
You'd have to be your own sounds, right? So
So I'm thinking also like, well, what is everybody else like in the world? If everyone had to choose this, if we're all drooling, then
That'd
Then
be
you
not
normal.
that
just
big a
get
deal.
used to it. Yeah.
That was gross.
Okay. Thanks for that.
working with animals is great, but let's be honest, it could also be chaotic. That's why I love Cuddles app. It's designed specifically for pet professionals, and it seriously makes life easier. With Cuddles, you can handle all your booking in one place, send automatic text messages to clients, and even accept payments right through the app. No more chasing down invoices or worrying about no-shows. And here's the best part. There's a free version to get started, so you can try it out with zero risk. If you want less stress and more time to focus on the dog in front of you, check out Cuddles app. Find it at cuddlesapp.com today. What dog breed did you choose? Or
Kat
I did.
is going to do a dog breed for us.
You know, I was thinking, once I picked a breed and then I was like, maybe we went over this. I think we briefly went over it, but the Welsh Springer Spaniel.
I don't think we really. I think
No,
we
I think we just
mentioned
mentioned him for the episode, right? But I picked the Welsh Springer Spaniel, which I really actually like them. We have two that come into the salon, and they're just so sweet, and
They're really pretty. Yeah.
they're really pretty, and I like something I like about them, and what would make me want one as you can groom them in competitions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I like that their ears are short. I know.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
their ears are beautiful and long, like cockers and the rest of them and stuff. But I don't like how gross their ears get, like cockers and stuff. So Springer, the Welsh Springer, anyways, has like an ear more like a golden.
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
trimmed to the leather, right? So that's what I like about them personally. I do find them a little oddly shaped, though. They're kind of long.
Well, they're long and
Yeah,
lower.
long and lower, but I really like the size, and that's what they're like a handy size. When I was
What
looking,
size do they compare to like another spaniel?
Well, I feel like they're bigger than the English Cocker,
Smaller
but
than the
smaller
Springer?
than the
smaller than the Springer.
English Springer.
I would say
Okay.
they're like field. How you?
Yeah, field spaniel.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say they're like a little more stocky, but they're a little shorter, a little longer.
I think they're bigger than the field still, though.
Yeah, I think they're a little taller than the field.
Yeah.
Maybe not as bulky as the field. But they're like loyal and affectionate family dogs. They're really into their people. They can be a little aloof with strangers, but the ones we have that come into the salon are actually, they seem like very like golden, like they're like known to be like kind of more clingy and like lovey-dovey to their families and stuff. And the two we have that come in are older females, and they're so sweet, and they like look into your eyes. And they give me that kind of golden feel to them. But they are energetic and active. They are hunting dogs. The Spring and Springer is the way they bound to the fields, getting the game to fly up, right? So they're
A
shoot 'em.
Springer.
A Springer. That's where they get it from, because they're springing through the fields, right? Spring. But they are hunting dogs, obviously, but they're also really strong swimmers. They have web feet and everything. They have excellent scent
Do
skills.
not all dogs have web feet?
No.
I thought the same thing, but I can't think of a dog that doesn't have the pads connected at the base.
It's not the
way.
It's the way they're they have more skin in between their toes here.
Like all
instead of-
dogs'
okay.
feet are connected, but when you look at the Scotty foot, there's not you cannot really spread their toes.
Oh.
So it's different.
Because Pixel's here, she's a retriever, right? So she's got more of the web toes. So we should compare them to
Well,
the Scotty.
and the poodle, and
they have
more web toes
because
Maybe that's why. Because the only time I see is my clean feet.
yeah.
right, yeah, and so they all do have
Okay.
webbing between their toes, but the Scotty, you can't really pull their toes apart to they're just tight. They're much tighter.
But you notice the splay feet and stuff on a lot of the these dogs, and that is because they have more webbing between their toes, so it's meant to help propel them through the water, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're excellent swimmers, excellent hunters, excellent scent, because they are hunting breeds. They have incredible tracking skills. Some are used for police dogs, for narcotics dogs and stuff like that. They're only come in that rich reddish color with the white, and I really like that contrast.
What is it called? Is it liver and white or red
They
and
call
white?
it red in this breed.
Oh, just red?
Yeah, red and white. It's very unique to the breed. So they are a sporting dog, so they get carded and everything, and you can use them in competitions, even in open level. I've seen them.
Yeah,
Summer
they've placed,
does. Yeah, Summer does. Really pretty Welshes.
I
You've
think
competed with one, right?
I did, and I got second place, so
Yeah.
that was nice. Yeah, she loaned me.
I was suddenly I
that was a
remembered.
while ago, but they're really cool.
I think though, if you're looking for a dog, I think Springers, regular Springers, and English Cockers are probably a little bit more competitive for a newer.
I agree. There's just, like I said, there's features about the Welsh Springer that I really like. I like that they're a little less common.
Right.
You don't see them as much.
I do think because you don't see them as often that the others are a little bit more competitive, but only because the judges aren't seeing them as much. But so they might not know that breed as much. But I think if more people got them, they would become more competitive.
Yeah. Well, and as far as not just as a groomer, but they make excellent sporting dogs. You see them a lot in agility, tracking, barn hunt, that kind of thing. So they're kind of like a versatile all-around dog that can really do anything. And because they're very intelligent and very capable, they can be stubborn, but I feel like that's a lot of sporting dogs can be stubborn, right?
Sporting dogs, I think, are just.
I can be pretty stubborn.
Yeah, they're but they are Velcro dogs. They really love their people and their family. They're really good with kids and everything like that. They're pretty much an ancient breed from Wales. They've been around a long time.
Nice.
And I just personally really like them. I think they're pretty and cool.
I do think they're really cool. And
Every time Kat is always we talk about it quite often when they come in. She's like, I think I want one of these. I'm like, I always get offended a little. I'm like, I have an English Conquer and I think they're way cooler.
No. I really like English Cockers
It's just the
and
ears.
English Springers.
It's
but
just the ears.
As my dog is literally battling an ear infection right now.
so that's something it's really the ears that do it for me though. That makes because
I don't think the long ears though on the English Cocker would I'm betting Welshes have ear problems too because it's about the lay. It's about how they lay against the head, not about the length of the hair.
So for me, it's just whenever Ronan's over,
he's a dirty boy.
He's just his ears are just in everything.
See, he's the reason. So offended.
No, but
Poor Ronan, the boy.
I used to have a Cocker when I was a kid, and I just remember their ears are always dirty because they get wet. Even if you have a special water bowl for them, their ears, they seem to get wet, and then they like their noses are always on the ground, so their ears are just always dragging.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially
he
Ronan,
steps
too.
on his
He's
ears
extra.
sometimes.
Yeah.
He steps on his ears.
Yeah.
But like their faces are just always on the ground, so I feel like, and I know you could put snoods in them and stuff, but I know that's also not great for their ears.
Yeah, because the ventilation.
So he's
So-
like battling an ear infection, right? And the other day he stepped on his
always-
ear infected ear, and he's like, he's like stepping on his own because it pulled it, you know?
Yeah.
And we're
I'm like,
dude.
it's the ear. We've been treating it for a little bit, and it's like not work. So we're gonna have to bring him to the vet again.
But
So I bet it's rods again, which is from poop. And I'm like, dude, stop like defecating in your own ear.
he's no, for people, they tend to step in poo, and
And
he
they put it in there.
I feel like
Well, any dog could
spaniel
step in poo,
but
and
then they
then-
itch their ear,
yeah, all
and
they
then
have to do
but
is
the way
itch.
their ears lay,
Okay.
and just
You know what I think would be a fun segment is we should talk about what dog we think we are.
Okay, for future, yeah,
Mm.
that'd be fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we should do for each other.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, the Welshes are fun dogs all around. I think I would like to own one someday.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Well, and I also, I mean, you know, like I enjoy getting different breeds.
Yeah.
You know, I do love my English Cocker. I don't think I'll get another one just because I'm not sure sporting dogs are for me.
Well, I feel like all sporting dogs are kind of just like you
Yeah.
know. I feel like they always have like a tune in their head,
Yeah.
and they're always just like da, 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 da. No, especially when they're smelling something.
They're
and
so
just,
sweet,
"Ooh."
but I just don't know if
Something
I,
I,
want another
do
sporting
like
dog.
about sporting dogs in general, though, is how food motivated they are.
See,
I
I
love
don't
that.
like that. It pisses me off because like Ronan's too food motivated.
Yeah.
He would die for food. That's annoying.
He would just sniff his way off a cliff if someone just chucked something out.
That too, yeah.
He's like, oh.
Anyway, okay. So, Juan, you had
Oh.
a Facebook post for us.
Yes, I have a Facebook post. It's not a group I'm a part of, but it was suggested, and I screenshot it because I thought the post was interesting. It says, "Let's clear something up. You do not need to be a master certified groomer to teach dog grooming. That's a common misconception, and it's simply not true. Yes, if you are teaching master groomer level techniques or certifying someone under a specific credentialing program, then you do need to hold that certification yourself. But grooming as a profession is far broader than any one certification. Pet grooming includes everything from comfort, trims, to rehabilitative care, and many skilled groomers never pursue master level titles. That doesn't make them any less professional, educated, or impactful. Dog grooming is about trust, technique, and care, not just titles or test scores. Let's stop gatekeeping and start honoring the full spectrum of grooming expertise."
Can I start?
Yeah.
First, I want to say, like, when you're reading it, my first thought is like, they're probably not master certified, right?
Right.
Which is like not a big deal, and I also agree with most of it. But even a little bit farther though, when they say, I don't know who it is, when they say that you have to be master certified to teach certain breed aspects, and like even that's not true.
Right.
I mean, I learned from people that are handlers
yeah,
that can
that's
groom
true.
that can outgroom any groomer I know,
Yeah.
and they don't have any certifications. That's just their careers in poodle, or they specialize in showing poodles, or so. But I do think for me, it's a good like baseline. It shows that the person you have coming or that you want to learn from has that baseline of knowledge. I agree like almost 100% with that, you know, that like post.
Yeah.
Well, I think my thoughts on it is like, I do agree there's plenty of talented groomers out there that aren't master certified. And I do think that like there's things to teach at every level, right?
Right.
Because there are, you know, prep things that need to be taught. There's basics for pet groom that needs to be taught, all the way up to then like master advanced techniques. So I do agree that like you don't necessarily have to be a master, but then it's hard to gauge if somebody is qualified to be teaching without some sort of certification. I think that's where, for me, that is a helpful indicator whether somebody is experienced and oh my God, I can't talk. Knowledgeable. You know, because I do think there's plenty of people out there that don't have certification that I'm like, that's a great groom, or you know what I mean? But then how do you pick and choose, right? Like, oh, I want this person to come, but you don't really know if they know.
Well, I feel like even on the flip side, I feel like there are masters who we don't know everything, right?
Right.
And there's breeds that we don't do or have a lot of expertise in.
Yeah.
But I feel like being a master kind of gives you the knowledge to understand that breed, right? Or
Yeah.
to try to interpret something that's written or shown to you and use it in a positive light to make that groom better, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, that's it. Going back to, I know we talked about for the Super Zoo episode, how Nathan had struggled with his underline, and then he had just gotten a quick lesson from Lindsay, but she was able to say, like, I would, like structurally, you're looking for this X, Y, and Z, and that's how you're going to know where to put your underline. But like, if we didn't have the knowledge that we have, that would have gone right over our heads and wouldn't have made sense and wouldn't have been helpful.
Yeah.
But because we have this background of knowledge on all these different things, it was like, oh, perfect. That was exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. And now that information is locked away and we'll always have that.
Yeah.
I think like when you're looking for a mentor, you look at like qualifications, right? And that's a good way. If I am an educator, but if I was a new educator, I guess I'm kind of newer still. I always think like, well, how do I like, what are qualifications? So
what makes you
the
stand
easiest
out?
things to show people are your certifications, right? And then, your teaching style, that matters a lot to people that are learning because not everyone learns the same. So
yeah. Well, and I think there, like you can go to 5 different people for the same trim and maybe one person finally says the thing that makes it click because they explained it different or they do it different. But I also don't know who's gatekeeping teaching because I see a lot of instructors out there that like aren't master groomers or aren't open level competitors or, you know what I mean? Like all these different things.
So I had a very new educator reach out to me and they were like, well, how do I get people to book with me? Because I don't know, I'm not master certified and I haven't won any competitions. And I don't know how to like get people to book.
And I think they've only been grooming for like 5 years.
And I'm always try to be really positive and lift people up, but it's like I don't know what to say to that except for like showing them pictures of grooms you did,
Right.
I mean,
So
that's
like, but if
true.
they built up those things, that would help a lot.
Yeah,
but,
because then
I'm like, I don't know what.
I mean, I do understand that, like, not everybody has to be a competitor. Not everybody has to be master certified. Not everybody has to do whatever. But, like, you kind of have to have something under your belt to
point to.
Yeah, exactly. To be like, show people you're worthy of being paid to come out or like, because seminars aren't cheap. So it's like, why am I going to spend a couple $100s to go watch and learn from someone who has never competed, who's never, I don't know. I feel
proven
like
themselves
competition and master certification is like, it's like a proven knowledge, at least at the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
I think experience is way more important than the certification.
Yeah.
One, but then we talk about you could be a groomer for 20 years at a 1-year level. So you could be like, well, I've been grooming for 20 years, but you're still grooming at that 1-year level, not a 20-year level.
But then also you got to think, fucking just brain farted super hard. I just brain shit.
Well, I was going to say though, even if you don't want to do say you're somebody who does work in an area that maybe you don't get any breed cuts ever and you've mastered all the pet stuff. And so you're like, well, I don't want to become a master groomer because I don't ever do these other things, which is fine. Right. Mm-hmm. But then you can go do like IPG and just become a certified groomer, right? Not finish, not go all the way, but just become a certified groomer that says like, I can do all this pet stuff and I can do all the prep right. And that's like a minimum, right?
Yeah.
Like, so those are options if you know what I mean? And like, so I don't see why you wouldn't because it's so easily accessible. You can do it all online.
And I don't think there's no like, oh, you have to have this or you have to have that. But the thing you have to do is sell tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if nobody knows you and you don't have like qualifications you could point at except for ambiguous things, like I've been grooming for X amount of time, then you'll have a hard time selling tickets. Because in the end, that's what you're trying to do is to show people I can do that. So like the more of those things, I don't think it's gatekeeping as much as like there probably are people gatekeeping out there, but as much as like you just got to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So help yourself, sell yourself, you know? But so, I mean, that leads into like another conversation, right? About seminars, because there was like another post we had come across, right? Where like they were talking about it's expensive and like, you know, a teacher hadn't wanted to come out without like their expenses paid. And they don't, you know, so somebody else commented back about it. And so obviously that's something people are confused on, right? Like when there is a seminar and say you reach out to an educator. And so I think this made me think like, oh, this is a good topic, right? Because if you own a salon or you work for a salon that is wanting to start doing seminars, which is great, right? Because we have a lot of access to education now. And I think that's a really good thing for salons to be doing. Choose an educator that you think can teach the topics you're interested in, right? So like if you're interested in, I'm just going to use hand stripping as an example, right? Because it is a little more niche, right? Then you would want to think what educators are good hand strippers. So you would want to like, you know, and then look at the hand stripping educators and think, who would I like to come out, you know, or if you're looking for hand scissoring or if you're looking for pet grooming or, you know what I mean? Like there's tons of educators out there, and then picking somebody with a style you like, or like you said, you think would sell tickets or different things like that is important, right? And then I think a lot of people don't think about all of the expenses, right? Because like when Nathan and I go out and teach, even if it's in California, California is huge, right?
Yeah.
Like, so if I have to go to Southern California, I still need 1 day for travel in the beginning and 1 day of travel at the end. So if I'm teaching 1 day, it's still a 3-day thing.
Yeah.
But I'm only charging for that 1 day that I'm teaching, and I'm losing out on money on both travel days. And I don't think a lot of people think about that. And then like for us also, we're having to pay somebody to watch our kids, watch our dogs. We have to leave our salon, so I'm not making money in the salon. So I either have to forfeit 2 extra salon days and just not make money, or work my 2 days off. And those are my days off, and I don't get any extra time with my kids, right?
So like me and Katie in general, we take an L on teaching, but we just do it for the love of the game.
Right.
But like, I think we can break down how we price, because it is probably very similar to how most people price.
Right. Well, because usually we ask for travel fee, right? So like if I have to fly, my plane ticket, or if I'm driving, like if it's close enough to drive, I don't really charge for like gas or anything. I guess we probably could, but
and that varies pretty drastically.
Right.
And then like wherever we're staying that night or the nights we're there.
Right, the hotels.
Right. So that's usually pretty cheap because we'll stay anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
And they stay together.
And we stay together.
A lot of and I think that's pretty universal for most educators.
Right. Well, and then if we need a rental car, then usually we'll, you know, that's an expense that we have the salon pay. But I always give them the option, like, hey, if you want to pick us up and like drop us off and like bring us to the salon and stuff like that, then that's totally fine, because I want to make sure I'm making it as easy and accessible for the salon as possible. So usually I'm like, if you don't want to pick us up, then obviously we need a rental car. But if you want to drive us around, then that's totally fine with me.
Yeah.
Because I do see it is expensive, right?
Right.
And then after that, we want a day fee for the day we're there.
Right.
Which is generally what we charge is about how much we would make how much we would bring in for our salon, because our salon is negative that money. So we want to bring in that money. Usually it's
like on the lower end of that. Like I try not to, you know, like, oh, this is what we could make maximum at our salon. Usually it's like, okay, minimum, if I did this many dogs, like this is the minimum I'd make in a day.
So they're different educators cost different things. People have different day rates, right? Because it's like wherever they're traveling from, how long they've been educating, what certifications they have, or like I've been on groom team for this many years, or like, you know, because I've seen fees as low as like $700-800 a day,
right?
And then I've heard of fees up to like $3,000 a day.
Right.
I think
it just
35 is the most I've heard.
35. Yeah. So it just, and that's a huge range, right?
It's a
Yeah.
huge
So it kind of
range.
just depends. And it kind of goes back to like salon pricing too, right? It's like
Right.
every person has different expenses, different things they have to like worry about in order to step away from their business to go do this. Like
Right.
I had never thought about like paying for your dog sitter and paying for your kids sitter.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then you have to worry about like, just things
Well,
that
the 2 extra travel days, that's a
Right.
huge one because like obviously I can't charge them a day rate for the 2 extra days that I'm now traveling. But like like I said, either then I have to work 2 extra days in the salon and not have a day off and
Yeah.
not spend time with my kids or take an L on those 2 days.
Yeah.
Usually we just work and that sucks.
So for like, I think about average, if for the time we're gone, we're probably cutting our income for those. If it's 3 days, we're probably cutting it in half for those 3 days. So like, it's not like a big L, but we just, it sounds fake when I'm saying it, but we're literally just doing it because we love to teach people and help people and uplift them. And it just feels good to us. We travel, we get to meet new people. It's fun. It's something we enjoy. So we're willing to take a little bit of a loss on it. But even though with us taking a loss, it's still expensive to people. So I do understand. That's why I wanted to do that. I do understand why people are like, that post where they were like, oh, it's so expensive. I just don't understand. That's why we just wanted to break it down. Because what we're saying is going to be similar to any educator that comes to you or your salon.
But also keep in mind is these people the educators have lives. Right?
Yeah.
So if they're saying, no, I can't do that, or no, not at this time or whatever, it's not because they don't like you or anything, or
That's
they
true,
don't want to,
yeah.
they have lives and they have schedules they got to keep. And they, especially you guys, you have kids, so you can't be gone all the time.
Well, like I feel really bad because I have a whole list of people that want us out for seminars and, like I'm trying to find time for them. So like if you're somebody who's listening that has reached out and I haven't gotten to you, it like Kat said, 100%. We want to come out to every salon that talks to us, but it's hard to find time between the kids and our businesses and dog shows.
If you only had that hour of sleep though.
I know, I guess so.
So
Dang.
like complete honesty, right? Kate, we've had this conversation where like when it comes to traveling, I'm on the struggle bus. Like
He hates it.
If I wanted to, we would literally be booked up teaching like every month, every week if we wanted to. But it's just like, I love doing it, but it's hard to be away from the kids. So like, I know there's people that have been waiting for us and have been asking for us to come. I'm very, very sorry. But like on my mental health, it's just like I have to be home X amount because I get like physically ill, like just being away and like from the kids and like my things at the house and our tremendous amount of bills.
There's that too. Yeah. It doesn't pay the bills.
But like we're doing it for the love of the game. And I bet almost every other educator too is doing it for like, because I could see it being very hard doing it as a main source of income and keeping it like as much as you would having a salon,
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, also for those travelers, those educators who do just travel every weekend practically, it's tiring.
Mm-hmm.
It's draining.
It's very draining.
Like even when we just go to grooming competitions, like just the travel part, it's exhausting, hopping planes and, having to rent cars and standing in lines and TSA and all this stuff, it's just mentally draining, even though it's not always super physical.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Well, and so one of the things I think a lot of people ask us when we are booking, right? Because we have a day rate. And so the salon itself collects the money for the classes, right? And so we get people that go like, well, how much should I be charging?
Mm-hmm.
So I always, for anybody who's considering having somebody out, I generally tell them take all the bills, right? So like how much the educator costs. Are you having to close your salon down for the day? Or is it like, are you doing it on an off day when you're normally closed? Are you having to pay anybody to come help, like employees or... I assume probably not, but you never know, right? all the different things. Are you buying food? Are you doing breakfast and lunch? Or, like take all those things. Do you want your salon to make money off of the seminar or not? And then divide that up by how many people you can actually have in your facility for the seminar. So like if you're like a pretty small salon and you can only have 10 people, then it might be higher, right? But if your salon is huge and you're like, I can have 30 people, then you might be able to sell your tickets for cheaper and help motivate more people to get in, right? So I usually tell them to take all those bills and divide it by how many people that they can get in.
Because most educators don't worry about ticket sales and ticket prices, right? They're paying you your fee, and then the salon just worries about it on their own.
Right, yeah. I mean, obviously, for us, we try to, like, put out, like, oh, we're going to be in this area to help promote the seminar and help get tickets sold.
Yeah.
But usually there's not, I mean, for us at least, we haven't had an issue. Usually the salon posts it and it's booked pretty quick.
Yeah, that's like the one thing we worry a lot about is like coming out and
Making
it's
sure.
like one of our deepest like fears is that we come out and then like there's nobody there. It's never happened, but like it is always on the top of the list of things that we're worried about.
Yeah.
Like,
So
oh my God, we're gonna get there and
we always check
everyone's
in
gonna be
with
like,
the
who are
salon.
these people? You know?
Yeah.
We always check in with the salon, like, hey, how are ticket sales going? Do you need us to like promote it? And sometimes it's like, oh, there's a couple tickets left, and I'm like, okay, cool, we'll post about it. But generally, there's not too much of an issue because the owner is usually like on local dog grooming groups, or you know what I mean, like. But then also that I had seen on that same post, somebody had commented about that they had attended a seminar and like it was fine. They came away with a couple of good tips, but like that's something to think about too, because they said they were more advanced already, right? But when we're going to a salon and we're teaching, you have to take into account everybody there, right? So like when you're doing demos, you can't always teach super advanced stuff because there's a lot of times more entry baby groomers in the audience, right? So you're having to make sure that everything you're saying makes sense to them, right? So while you can give some more advanced techniques, you can't always just cater to the people that are at the top.
I just thought maybe like if we do a seminar like that, we could advertise it as an advanced, you know?
Yeah, and for sure, like that is something you can do, but like those are things that I usually ask, right? If I'm coming in and doing a hand stripping class, I always ask, how many of you guys have hand stripped before? And there'll usually be like a handful of raised hands or, like, oh, I hand strip a lot. But the bulk of people have never hand stripped before, ever. Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, start at the beginning.
Well, there's this like step, right? Where there's new groomers and then they learn a little bit and you think, I mean, I don't want to like talk shit, right? But like there's this step where you're new groomer and then you learn some and you think you have a good handle on it. But in actuality, there's like so much more to learn, right? But a lot of times someone will learn a little bit and they're like, oh, I already know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they like overcome. That was me basically for a very long time. And like now I'm groom team again. Might be on groom team again this coming year. And I'm still grinding to learn every little bit I can. So.
Yeah. I feel like I know nothing. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface and I'm doubly master certified, been competing, but I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah, that Lindsay Dickin, when she helped me with the thing, she literally took off like probably an inch or less of hair on a couple spots, and it totally changed the look of the groom I was doing. And sometimes that is what will help you click, because I've already been placing with the breed I'm talking about, so now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do great.
Zeroed in now.
Yeah.
Every groomer knows the right equipment makes all the difference. That's why I trust Aeolus. From high-powered dryers to ergonomic tables and tubs, Aeolus designs tools that keep both pets and groomers comfortable. But it's not just grooming. Aeolus also makes incredible show equipment for handlers and breeders, and even veterinary gear trusted by professionals worldwide. Their products are built to last, easy to clean, and designed to make your workday smoother. Whether you're in the salon, at a dog show, or working in a vet clinic, Aeolus has equipment you can depend on. Visit aeolispet.us because great tools means great results. So we've all attended seminars, right? So I'm sure a lot of our listeners maybe have never gone to a seminar before. So I thought we could talk about what seminars are like, what somebody could expect going to a seminar, and etiquette, right?
Yeah. I mean, I used to go to a lot of seminars earlier on in my career. And I feel like now, I think like what we mentioned, we touched on earlier, like there's a certain level that most seminars are at because there's such a range of like beginner and like, you know, to super advanced. So I feel like once I got to a certain level, I stopped attending seminars. And I do like more private lessons and stuff.
Right.
But while I was going to seminars, I feel like there's like etiquette. I feel like that people should pay attention to when going to a seminar. And I feel like the poor behavior in some of the classes I've taken are the reason why I don't go to seminars anymore. Like, I feel like one of the biggest things is that like we're all the same, right? We're all dog groomers and we all have the same shared experiences for the most part about certain things. But I feel like people forget that like this educator left their, you know, they left their house and left their families and stuff to come here. The 20 people that are around you are also taking the day off or working the extra day. They paid money. Maybe they're traveling. Maybe they're staying in a hotel, you know? So it's like expensive for people to be there. And just like, I think you have to remember that seminars are for the educator to teach.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times when I go, there's a lot of people that feel the need to say me too because of this and this and this and this, right? So I went to like one seminar where it was like it was like a very intro creative thing because Ronnie was like, oh, maybe I want to do. So like we'll go and we'll take the class, right? Yeah. And there was this, you know, it was Angela Cumpy and Adrian Pope. And they were talking about like, oh, you know, different accessories and blah, blah, blah. And this, like, oh, you this chalk and this whatever. And then people, oh, I do that.
Good for you.
Cool. You know, like, oh, one time I tried to get a client to do this, but like they just wouldn't. That's not really I don't know. Like, I just feel like you're not adding to it. You're not adding to it.
No,
maybe certain things that are, if it's not a question that other people can benefit from, I feel like maybe you should like wait till after class.
I've definitely had classes go off the rails where like we started telling a story that somebody related to and they had a similar story and then they wanted to tell their story. And it's like, I agree,
Very
right? We
ADHD.
all get it.
We
all get it. Like, cause we all do relate to each other. We all have very similar experiences. And like, so I'm like, cool, I feel you, but I agree there's a time and a place where then I've had classes just totally go off the rails. And I thought to myself, like, all these baby groomers came and they wanted to learn. And half the time the one person was talking, you know? And so we have had that experience before.
Yeah. I do feel like a lot of people, or you go.
Oh, I was just saying, I've been in classes where they're like, hold your questions at the end.
Yeah.
Because I feel that happens a lot, right?
But Katie.
Well, I don't mind questions.
Katie has to keep me a little bit on track because I like going to seminars. But keep in mind, I teach them now, so I'm not paying for them. So I don't like my time is valued differently, right? And I do feel like people oftentimes will come to our seminars because they want to get to know us and they want to just learn from us and be around us. And, you know, and when it starts becoming social hour, I light up. But I know some people are like, I paid money and I want to learn and I don't want to hear you talk about this or that. But a lot of people do. So like I'll just be like blah 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 blah, and then Katie will be like, all right, let's groom the dog.
Well, I do think it's hard because we'll get like those questions. Like people will ask Nathan about videos or you know, so it can be hard to stay on topic. But I'm much more serious where I have like a plan in my head of where I want everything to go. So I definitely.
I do think,
you know, I do like questions.
Imagine how much more you'd learn though, right? If everyone just like,
I mean,
but would it be as well attended? Because people probably like.
I think we do a good mix of like having fun and talking about things, but also me keeping us in line. But because you're right, you don't want it to be too boring. But I do tell people I like questions. Like I've had people ask questions that are very relevant to whatever I'm teaching. And I'm like, thank you for reminding me. Perfect. Let me tell you guys about this thing or that thing.
I have a question since you
Yeah.
guys are educating and you guys are going out different salons. One thing that bothers me, I like how I'm only talking about the bad things. One thing
No,
that
that's-
bothers me when I attend a seminar is that people feel the need to bring their dogs.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not a hands-on seminar or whatever, like what, I just don't bring your dog. I mean, how do you guys, does it bother you? Does it not bother you? Does it?
Counts if the dog is there and
depends.
is good and is chill, I don't care at all. But if the dog is causing like any sort of like distraction, it could be annoying. But like, I mean,
I generally
I-
ask
I
for them
kinda
to
think of it-
be kenneled.
I kind of think of it as like we're all dog groomers and we're all weirdos, right? I'm when I call someone a weirdo right now, I'm like, dog
the most
groomers are
loving-
weirdos. You
Yeah.
know what
We're
I'm saying?
weirdos, yeah.
In the
So,
most
like-
loving way. We're
So
all
like,
weirdos.
I always think like, okay, if this is bothering me, I value it. Like, well, if I say something, is it gonna upset them, or would it be better to just me like let it roll off? So oftentimes when it comes to seminars, I just like kind of let things roll off and don't let them bother me because, you know, like I don't know, like the last thing I want to do is be like, hey, you got to put that dog away, and they're like, it's my service dog, and then I'm like, well, what, you know, like I don't,
Yeah.
it's like a slippery slope. But I do appreciate it when people think like that, though. Think critically, like, oh, should I bring my dog? Or maybe it'll be a distraction and they don't. But I mean, I generally don't mind, though, as long as they're good dogs.
And they're not distracting the dog you're working on.
Right. But that's also like the most Nathan answer. The most Nathan answer you'll get, right? Because I feel like you just live your life like that. Let it roll off my back. No
I will
big
say,
deal.
when we were taking seminars with Anne and then Susie would bring her little pit bull, I couldn't fucking pay attention at all.
she was
Because I'm
adorable.
just like loving on
She
this
was so
dog. Like,
cute.
oh, no, they're so cute. I'm just
White.
Yeah, I'm just loving her the whole time. And everything else is going over my head. But I'll still
So-
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
I would say for the most part, I feel like at seminars I've been to, most of the time people aren't bringing dogs. Every once in a while they do. A lot of the time the
I'm burning
owner.
up, guys. I'm doing the thing.
Okay, go ahead. Sometimes the owner will be like, hey, you can't bring a dog, or hey, I have a kennel in the back. You can put your dog away in. And I mean, I will say for the most part, most dogs haven't been like an issue. Like I haven't had a dog like try to bark through or something like that. But I do agree it can be distracting. It is for learning, right? Like that's what we're supposed to be doing is learning. So definitely I could see, you know,
Hello.
Hello.
Nathan.
It's hot in here.
It's summer and our garage is a little hot, so we're trying to cool it down.
One AC is not cutting it.
Yeah. So I do agree though, because like I do think dogs can be very distracting, and not everybody keeps a handle on their dogs. So are there any other etiquette things that you can think of?
I think the last etiquette thing I want to say, because a lot of things bother me, but like put your phone on silent.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like without fail, every single class or seminar I've taken, someone's phone rings.
Yeah.
But every single time.
Also on the phone thing, this is going to sound weird because we do it too, but being respectful. I feel like if you're sitting in the front row, especially, and you're just scrolling on your phone and being like, I understand that people need to take notes and stuff like that, but I feel like some people are just like farting around, like on Facebook or something, you know. I just be respectful to the person who's teaching, and if you are taking notes, I don't know.
We normally bring a notepad.
Yeah, I don't really bring a notepad, but I know Nathan's had that happen, but he was drawing a picture.
That's what I was going to say.
I was
Yeah.
so I was let me tell that little story because
This was from
I
a
could
couple
tell
years ago.
it was a couple years ago, and Macy Pisa was teaching a Bashan class, and I was on my iPad the whole time. I was sitting in the front row to pay attention, and I was on my iPad the
We were
whole
in the
time.
second row.
And I kept seeing her like look at me, and at the end of the class, I mean at the end I could tell she was just like, "What the hell,
This asshole.
you know?" And then I was like, "Oh, let me show you what I was doing on my iPad," and I was drawing. So what I did was I drew a Bashan
the
with
Bashan
what
she was working on.
the
yeah.
Bashan she was working on, the angles and stuff. So I was drawing as she was teaching to to like stick it into my brain. And she's like, oh, wow, that's so cool, you know? But like so I made it I made sure that I was like, I'm not like just trying to.
Not being an asshole who just attended your class to sit on my phone the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
But another thing about phone etiquette and stuff, there are some instructors who don't like to be recorded.
Yes.
So, I mean, they mostly make that clear at the beginning or something like that. But if you are going to take a video or a picture, I like to ask the instructor if it's okay.
That's a really good point, actually, because I've never mentioned that in any of my seminars, but I have noticed my last couple classes, people recording the entire time.
Yeah.
And like, I never thought about saying something. And now I'm wondering if I should, because like, I don't mind like little video clips here or there, or like pictures or different things like that.
Like, oh, I want to record how they do the foot.
Right, yeah. But the last couple classes I've taught, I've noticed people that recorded literally the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I understand wanting to be able to go back and recall the information later or different things like that. But it does kind of make me uncomfortable. And it's not that anything in my class isn't recordable, but
this person is paying to be in a seminar with you. So are they taking this information that you're getting paid to teach and repeating it to other people who are not paying for your class? Right. Or are they, where are they sharing this? Is this being, because, that is, they're paying for it, right? But also at the same time, they could spread it to 20, 30 people, and those people aren't going to go and pay for it, right?
Right. So that had not been something I had previously considered because it hadn't really been an issue, but it might have to be something that I mentioned now at the beginning, like, hey, I don't mind if you take little videos or if you take a couple of pictures, but like don't record the entire thing. Because that's a little, a little much.
So I've been to private things like with Anne or with other groomers, Olga did one and everything. Those are more like intimate, but like in the like Barkley or Super Zoo or something, you're in a big, huge classroom. And I'll take like little snippets or pictures and stuff, and I'll just post it on my Facebook. Like, oh, I'm watching, Shannon Tubes do the scrum and tag them and stuff.
Love those.
So those are like totally okay. I feel.
I love seeing the like where people tag me and go like, I was in the class, and I'm like, oh, yay.
But I've seen, it's, I don't know. I just feel weird people recording the whole thing. Or like when they come up and they're like up in your face and stuff like that, So it's just hard. So I personally ask if I'm doing something, if I can record this for my own benefit, and, I'm not going to share it or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, because we've done that too before, like where we've been at a seminar and we were like, hey, that area in particular has been a hard, a problem for me. Can I like just record you doing that one piece? And then I've always, they've always been like, yes. And we're like, it's just for me. But yeah, the whole recording the whole thing does make me a little bit uncomfortable. And I didn't know how to like approach it at the time, but I don't know why it didn't strike me to say something at the beginning of my classes. So I appreciate you mentioning that because I think I will have to add that in now.
Yeah. But mind you, I haven't done, the only like classroom setting teaching I've ever done was like at a Bashan thing for other Bashan owners. And it was always awkward to have someone is more experienced than you in the thing. So I think that's how Macy probably felt, right? Not more experienced, but like
at
someone
a similar level
who understands more. You're not teaching the babies, right? So like I do feel like it's awkward, but I do feel like Nathan it's better easier for him to learn. I usually bring a pad and paper and take it down so you could tell that's what I'm doing, kind of thing, instead of just playing on your phone, because I hate looking out when people are just like
playing on their phone.
And it seems like they're just either scrolling Facebook or something. Like if they're sitting there and they're like attentively being like
making eye contact,
and being like paying attention, totally cool. But when people are like on Facebook, like you could tell that they're just not engaged, and that bothers me. Yeah, even like me as another person listening, it bothers me when I see someone just scrolling through Facebook. It's like, why are you here?
Yeah.
If you're just gonna scroll through Facebook the whole time, there's no point.
Yeah. When you're attending a full day seminar, right? I feel like a lot of times people will have like little snackies at the beginning. Sometimes they'll have like coffee. Not every seminar is like that, but I feel like a lot of times they'll have like donuts or they'll have,
Bagels.
Danishes,
Danishes,
and drinks. And usually they open the doors, like maybe a half an hour early so you can kind of get in and get settled. And usually the educator will start. Sometimes I don't start right on time, just depending on if people are running late. But every seminar is different. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Usually we teach for a few hours, do a lunch break, teach for another couple of hours. Some seminars provide lunch, some don't. It really just depends. It'll say, right?
Or they'll give you just like a lunch break and you just go find whatever you want yourself,
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like seminars are pretty straightforward. There's not a lot, you know what I mean? Like, if you have any questions, message the salon to see, if you have any questions, message the salon to ask them. Like I've had people message me with like questions before that I didn't know the answer to, and then I was like, you're going to have to message the salon owner on that one. Or one time I even had somebody message and say like, oh, my husband is like coming like with me, like maybe they had to travel a little bit further and they're like, so can he attend the seminar? And I was kind of like, well, I mean, but like, I know he's not a groomer, but I mean, you need to buy him a ticket. So then it was
because
like really
he might take
awkward.
a space of someone that is
That's
like,
true.
So it was like somewhat awkward because, I'm like, well, but I understand he's not a dog groomer, but if he's in the seminar, like, because then people are going to start bringing their,
That's true. I never thought of that.
So
well, I think we covered it, right?
Yeah.
I think we pretty much covered everything. So then the last thing is the Sphere. Nathan and I went to a Sphere show. So for anybody who doesn't know, Las Vegas has this huge like newer Sphere thing, and it's like a whole experience. And so we went to an EDM show there. Unity.
I see your shirts.
Yeah. Unity. So it's Tomorrowland and Insomniac together. It was super fun. Like the visuals were incredible.
Yeah. So we were worried because like the DJ is it was Chasing Status, and they're cool, but they're like
they're
it's
just
like
not necessarily our style.
it's like heavier bang like not stuff we generally listen to.
Okay.
Right.
We're more ethereal EDs.
Yeah, or like
EDM. I mean,
or like trance stuff. I know it's older, but like people say it's not trance, but they're making trance again.
Yeah.
They just have it under a new name, right? What is it? It's like a something rhythm or but
melodic.
Yeah,
something.
it's trance.
Yeah.
And we're there and we're like just thinking it's gonna be just that, but it was basically like a highlight of all the fucking big bangers.
the first 2 hours was like Tomorrowland and Insomniac put together like a whole experience. So the first 2 hours, it was really cool. They had a full orchestra that was like actually live playing, which was really cool. And then like a whole experience and show where it like brought you through like this whole experience.
Yeah, you're like in the ocean and then you're like under the ground in this lava field and like.
Is the feel like, soaring over California where you like feel the things and smell the things?
Not
like,
smell, but feel. Yeah.
So there was a few moments you don't get motion. It's not motion sicky.
Yeah, that's why I was worried when they said that. I was like, ooh.
There's a few times where I felt like I was moving with it, but it was in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. Because I get really motion sick, and I did not at all. We got ground, so like you can get seats. We got like floor, right? Because we're like we want to dance and like. But the thing we didn't think about is because it is a huge dome, and originally we were like more towards the front because I was like, oh, the orchestra and like, the DJ. But then like you can't see, right? Like as much. And so then we ended up as back far as we could, like up against the rails, so that we could see more. But my neck definitely got sore from like looking up for a couple of hours. But it was so cool. It was definitely worth it. Those 2 hours were awesome. I mean, we made friends with everybody around us. And then the last hour was the other DJ, and they were super cool. We stayed for like 40 minutes into his, and then we're like, we don't want to have to like fight our way out of here. And like, he was cool, but it wasn't somebody that we were like, we're dying to see them, you know? So we left about 20 minutes early and went and bought, you know, like our shirts. That way we didn't get stuck in a long line, and dipped out, you know? So it was fun. It was really fun.
Perfect.
It was better than I was expecting it to be. We went and we like, you know, we gambled a little bit because we were in Vegas, you know, and it was just the two of us. So it was kind of nice because I haven't been to Vegas with just Nathan in a while, you know. It was less than 24 hours.
I was gonna say, talk about your timeline.
Yeah.
We worked on Friday. We left a little early, like 2 hours early. Went to the airport, flew out. I think our flight was at like 6. No. Our flight was like at 4 something. We got in at like 6 something in Vegas, checked into our hotel, wandered around, just goofed off until 11 when the concert was, and then did that until almost 2 in the morning, and then went back to our room.
And then flew back home.
And then flew back home. I think our flight was at like 9.
I'm so old. I'm like, starting something at 11 p.m.
I know.
So 10 out of 10
That's
recommend?
10 out of 10 recommend.
It was great.
Would do
You
again?
should go. You should
Would
go.
do again. I would actually
I would go again. If you wanted to go, I would go.
It was super fun. It was
I
really
would get
Sphere
seats
looks
though.
cool.
I would get seats
I would
though.
say, would you get seats or the floor
I
again?
would get seats.
If you wanted to do floor, I would do floor.
No.
But I would choose seats because
So, like, the dancing was fun, but you couldn't do as much as I feel like you could at a regular.
not everyone there is on the level.
Not
Right.
everybody there, because it was a little bit like lighter.
There was some
I
people
would
there
say,
next to
like,
us that were like, every time everyone's dancing, they're like looking around like, ew.
To me, it was
Like, get the fuck out of here.
it was like
They look like they
EDM
just left the
light.
board meeting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here?
So to me, it was like EDM light. Like, you could tell there was like a lot of people that aren't like hardcore into it, and there were some people that really were. But also because it's so small, I felt like you couldn't like get into it crazy like you would. But it was nice because it was heavily air conditioned.
I was going to say, how was the temperature?
Heavily air conditioned. I was not hot at all.
So we were worried, and then they put clarity on, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be sick. You know? And then we're like flying through this fucking thing, and I'm like, this is awesome.
I'll show you a bunch. We have a ton of clips, so it was super fun.
10 out of 10 would
10 out of
recommend the
10.
Sphere.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was it expensive?
I feel like it was like $200 a ticket, but I feel like for a
That's not bad.
concert, that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
You just got to get the tickets on the right time, the plane tickets,
Oh, yeah.
because that's what could be expensive, right?
Yeah.
But in California, we can get them for
But we can get tickets pretty cheap to Vegas.
Southwest, sometimes $39.
Yeah.
And then I found a room at the Harris,
Hurrahs.
or
Whatever.
and it's
Harris.
Harrah's.
yeah, and
Harris,
it's
yeah.
walking distance. 10-15 minute walk from
Yeah.
the Sphere to your hotel.
Oh,
room.
wait, where is the Sphere on the strip?
It's right behind the Harris.
Well, it's
So and also right
It's
next
off
to
the strip.
the Wynn. It's like right next to
Oh,
the Wynn.
okay.
and the
Kind of-
I think it's
And the Venetian.
it's attached
That
to
way.
like the Venetian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, but the Venetian was like hell of expensive, and I think the Wynn's pretty expensive. But we got a decent room for
But also
fairly cheap.
the Harris.
Also, you were there for
the gambling
all of,
area?
like 6 hours.
It was like not as fancy, but not like trashy.
Yeah.
It
So it,
w-
was
it
like
hit
a
the
good
sweet
mid-level. Good mid-level.
Okay.
It hit
not
this
expensive.
where everyone's gambling, having fun. It doesn't feel like you're in a dive bar, but it's not like overly fancy where you're just like feeling a little weird.
Yeah,
it hit the sweet spot perfectly.
We like walked through like the Treasure Island one, and we're like, ew. Well, at first we're like, what hotel are we in? Because you know how it is when you're walking
Yeah.
through.
Suddenly
like,
you're in a-
suddenly you're in another
connected,
hotel
yeah.
and you don't know where the fuck you are. And we're like, ew, this place is kind of like, And then we're like, where are we? And then we're like, Treasure Island. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the low ceilings. When a place has a low ceiling, it makes it feel cheap.
Yeah. And then the Venetian, you can definitely tell. I was.
Oh, the Venetian's pretty.
It's so pretty. And then I was like, oh, how much were rooms here? And he was like, 500 a night. And I was like, oh, no, never mind. Like, we're not even here for a full 24 hours.
How long were you in the room?
Probably like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Yeah. So it was like, nah.
As long as you don't come back with bed bugs, that's my thing.
Well, it was funny though. They gave us an ADA room. I don't know why we keep getting given ADA rooms.
I
'cause
like
we didn't
ADA
ask for them.
rooms.
but the bed was super low. Obviously, that was a
Too
problem.
low.
Yeah.
It was too low. And then, but when we had originally checked in, Nathan asked about it because he was like, well, if the bed is really low, that might not work out for us.
I like the bed waist level.
Surprise. And they were like, oh, just like call down if it's a problem. And like they'll come up and they can raise the bed. But he made it sound like the beds were like on like some sort of an electric thing where they could
Like
just
a hydraulic something?
Yes, yeah. But literally they just put boxes under the bed. Like wooden boxes. It was hilarious. And I was like, well, it works though. It was
Yeah.
at the right height. So
Okay.
How funny.
That's funny.
anyway.
Yeah, you think there'd be like a crank,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought
Like,
too they were gonna. It was gonna be on some sort of machine.
I swear they called them like engineers. They're like, we'll have the engineers come up to your room. And then like they come in and they're like carting like wooden boxes and they just like lifted the whole thing.
they're
and
like
put the box-
Imagineers. They imagine they're doing something
It's
right.
like at a grooming competition with the bed risers.
Yeah. Yeah. Hilarious.
That's funny.
Anyway. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to your favorite podcast, another grooming podcast. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.